Have you ever found a show that just feels like home? You know, that comfortable, reliable place you can always go back to for a genuine laugh, maybe a heartwarming story, and perhaps even pick up a few surprising insights along the way. For tens of millions of people, really all around the world, across generations, across cultures, that show has been, and still is, Modern Family.
It's a truly remarkable show, isn't it? Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into this television phenomenon. I mean, 11 seasons, 250 episodes, charming audiences globally. Modern Family wasn't just another sitcom. It really became a cultural touchstone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our mission today is to really unpack why. Why did this show resonate so deeply with viewers? We're not just talking about its, comedic genius, which it definitely had, but also its surprising effectiveness as a mirror, sort of reflecting and subtly shaping our understanding of modern family dynamics. And maybe most fascinatingly for many people worldwide, it actually became this engaging, organic way to sharpen their English language skills.
And we're going to explore every single facet of that appeal. We'll delve into its groundbreaking style, its unforgettable, often hilariously flawed characters, and some really intriguing behind-the-scenes details that, all came together to make it the magic that it was.
Right. And to do this, we've gathered quite a mix of sources for our deep dive today. We've got behind-the-scenes insights from News Bites, some really thoughtful, critical analyses from places like Critically Queer and the Final Draft blog,
Mhm.
the comprehensive info drawn from its pretty extensive Wikipedia entries, and also some incredibly interesting, sometimes quite passionate fan perspectives pulled straight from Reddit threads.
Yeah, those Reddit threads are always illuminating, aren't they? So get comfortable because we're about to peel back the layers on a show that really redefined television comedy, and for a lot of people, maybe redefined what family can look like.
Okay, so if we're starting with why Modern Family isn't just good, but so exceptionally good, so light and fun, we really have to begin with its signature mockumentary format. This wasn't just like a trendy choice. It was actually a remarkably clever device. It gave us these unparalleled insights, behind the story, a direct window into the characters' inner lives.
It really did feel like you were watching a real documentary sometimes, didn't it? The characters turning to the camera, talking directly to you in those confessional interviews. It wasn't just a gimmick, it created this like almost immediate intimacy, a direct line to what they were thinking.
Exactly. And you got things traditional sitcoms just can't deliver,
Right.
like the rich subtext or those mismatched memories where two characters remember the same event completely differently,
Oh yeah, that was brilliant.
or the internal monologues revealing their true, often kind of chaotic feelings versus the polite face they put on for the family. It felt like they were sharing their secrets, or at least their most hilarious anxieties, just with you, the viewer.
It really did. It made you feel like an honorary member of the family, privy to all the drama. And the format didn't just set up jokes, it revealed that universal comedy and our own internal struggles are unspoken thoughts within family life.
And what's really fascinating is how Modern Family took this format and applied it, pioneered its application, really, to the dusty family comedy genre, some called it. We'd seen it work brilliantly in workplace comedies, right, like The Office or Parks and Rec.
Right. Obvious examples.
But Modern Family adapted it boldly to the domestic sphere. And that move was pretty revolutionary. It set it apart, allowed for this unique layer of humor and emotional depth that came from seeing these often private, intimate family moments being recorded.
Yeah, exactly. Fans often talked about that, how the fly on the wall style let you see moments that would be super awkward, maybe impossible if a real film crew was there. Like you mentioned Claire and Phil being recorded in bed, or those quiet late night talks between Jay and Gloria.
Hmm.
A lot of the humor came from the unspoken stuff, didn't it? The glances to camera, the characters trying and often failing to manage their image, even when they think no one's looking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the format also cleverly played with that idea of what you see isn't always what's real.
Mm,
Like the Dunphy House exteriors, those were real houses in L.A., giving it that authentic suburban feel.
right. Cheviot Hills, I think.
That's the one. But all the interior scenes,
Yeah.
meticulously filmed on sound stages, it's that classic TV magic, making it feel so authentic and, well, fun, because your brain just bought into the reality.
Beyond the format, though, the show's enduring appeal really has to be that remarkable blend of humor, genuine heart, and just sheer relatability. Critics consistently praised its humorous take on family dynamics. They called it a comedy gold combination of character, witty dialogue, and a story engine that doesn't quit.
And you really felt that warmth, didn't you? It wasn't just surface level. It kind of seeped into every word, every scenario. Even amidst the let's be honest, maddening reality of domestic life,
Oh, totally maddening sometimes.
which every family experiences, right? The show consistently delivered this profoundly feel-good experience. It tapped into those universal truths about family. The frustrations, the misunderstandings, the fierce love, the messy chaos.
Yeah, and while every family's chaos is unique, Modern Family somehow made the Pritchett Dunphy Tucker chaos feel universal.
Mm.
That's why it was so funny, I think, because you saw echoes of yourself or people you know in those situations, no matter where you were from. The characters felt like real people.
Yeah, not just punchline machines. And that emotional core, that warmth amidst the chaos, was captured beautifully by Manny, actually. Remember that quote from season 4? He said, with his typical, Manniness, "The hero in my family is my family because of who we are together."
Ah, yeah, that's a great line. Really sums it up.
It really speaks to the show's core message, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Acceptance, resilience, unconditional love, even when everything's falling apart. That underlying affection allowed them to push comedic boundaries without ever feeling mean or cynical.
And that perfectly illustrates how the show walked that fine comedic line. It balanced clever wordplay with broad slapstick, but always infused with genuine heart and charm. It found layers of feeling mixed with meaning in nearly every episode. Okay, maybe sometimes, being a family comedy on a big network like ABC, it occasionally dabbled in cheese, you know?
A little bit, sure.
But that earnest, feel-good quality was absolutely part of its charm. It never pretended to be edgy or dark. It embraced being hopeful, funny, and ultimately loving about modern family life, and that honesty just resonated.
Another really interesting element that kept it feeling fun and alive was the spontaneity they allowed in the script. The writers consciously left room for improvisation. They actually encouraged actors to ad-lib lines if it felt more authentic for the character or just funnier.
Yes. You could feel that sometimes, couldn't you? That looseness, that live energy. It wasn't just actors reciting lines. You felt this organic collaboration happening. And that flexibility often led to genuinely unexpected comedic moments that enriched the episodes. It kept everyone, cast and audience, kind of on their toes.
It really did inject this dynamic, unpredictable quality that kept the show feeling fresh, even deep into its run. Think about those subtle reactions, or the way a line might land just a bit differently because of an actor's instinct. That freedom definitely translated to a more spontaneous, entertaining watch for us.
Okay, so shifting gears just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really worth highlighting something significant, maybe even underrated, about Modern Family that goes beyond just entertainment. For tons of non-native speakers all over the world, this show became this incredibly effective and actually enjoyable way to learn English.
That's such a great point, because while the show is definitely dialogue-heavy, it somehow never feels that way.
Yeah.
The pacing is quick, the writing is sharp, it keeps you engaged.
Right.
But what's so good for language learners is that constant use of witty dialogue and clever wordplay. It just naturally exposes you to rich, contemporary vocabulary and diverse sentence structures, all in a natural conversational context.
Yeah, you're not memorizing lists, you're hearing words used organically in funny, relatable situations. That kind of immersion is way more effective than textbooks sometimes. And the rhythm, the timing of the jokes, how they landed with intonation and pauses that helps learners get the natural flow of spoken American English. You learn not just what is said, but how it's said and why it's funny. That's crucial.
Absolutely. And what's also invaluable is the exposure to a wide range of authentic American English accents and speech patterns. The show is really deliberate about crafting characters from diverse backgrounds. Think about Gloria, for instance. Her distinct, passionate Colombian immigrant accent. It has its own cadence, pronunciation, even grammatical quirks sometimes.
Yeah, her malapropisms became legendary.
Exactly. And it showcases the beautiful variety within English, offering a much more realistic listening experience than just hearing standardized voices.
And then you've got Cameron, right? With his wonderful, maybe slightly exaggerated background from a farm in Missouri. That brings in a distinct Midwestern flavor. He has that way of drawing out certain vowels, a particular phrasing. And even within the Dunphy kids, you had a whole spectrum. Haley's often ditzy, teen slang, full of vocal fry and current idioms.
Yeah, constantly evolving.
Then Alex's precise academic English, spoken clearly with a more complex vocabulary. This broad range of authentic voices provides really invaluable, realistic exposure. It's like a mini-language immersion course from your couch. Makes learning English fun and effective.
And this ties back nicely, actually, to the mockumentary format itself. That offers another, maybe overlooked benefit for learners. When characters speak directly to the camera in confessional interview segments, it basically mimics a one-on-one conversation.
Precisely. It makes it so much easier for you, the listener, to follow along and feel engaged, like they're having a personal chat with you. This naturally boosts listening comprehension, even conversational skills, because you're getting that direct address, that feeling of private dialogue. It's a fantastic, low-pressure way to absorb language naturally, picking up nuances. And honestly, that style aligns perfectly with how we try to communicate here on the Deep Dive, like a friend sharing something cool they learned, making complex stuff approachable.
So with that foundation set, let's actually meet the vibrant, wonderfully dysfunctional family at the heart of it all, the sprawling Pritchett Dunphy Tucker clan. The series centers on these three diverse but intimately connected family units all living in suburban LA. And their connection, the anchor really, traces back to Jay Pritchett, the patriarch, and his two adult kids, Claire and Mitchell.
Okay, let's unpack this family tree, starting with the main Pritchett household. This is where tradition kind of clashes hilariously with new beginnings. At the head, you have Jay Pritchett, played so perfectly by Ed O'Neill. Jay starts out as this wealthy, somewhat grumpy old patriarch, well, successful businessman, pretty set in his ways.
Definitely.
And in the early seasons, he noticeably struggles, sometimes painfully, to fully accept his son Mitchell being gay. But what makes Jay's arc so great is his series-long journey. This growth towards patience, learning, real understanding. We watch him evolve from traditional views to genuine acceptance, even open affection. He's the CEO of Pritchett's Closets and Blinds, and later, hilariously, starts Dog Beds by Stella. He's the grumpy, loving anchor who learns to embrace the mess.
And then there's the force of nature that is Gloria Delgado Pritchett, brought to life by the amazing Sofia Vergara. She's Jay's much younger, passionate Colombian immigrant wife, his excitable second wife, with a personality as vibrant as her sometimes unique English phrasing.
Loudly Stella.
Exactly. Gloria is defined by her strong personality, her love for shopping and fashion, and her ability to be fiercely empathetic and opinionated, often at the same time. She's incredibly protective, especially of Manny. Later, she even starts her own hot sauce business, which felt like a nice nod to her roots.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is interesting, though, some Reddit users felt that in later seasons, maybe her character became a bit of a rich housewife prop. But many others fiercely defended her unique, uncut nature from the early seasons, praising her spontaneity and raw emotional honesty. She was definitely unique for network TV.
Totally unique. And then Gloria's son, Jay's stepson, Manny Delgado, played by Rico Rodriguez. Manny's just
Yeah.
Manny. He has the surprising maturity and creative optimism from day one, like an old soul. Often dramatic, socially awkward, prone to grand gestures and poetry. Interested in playwriting, goes to CalArts. He was often the show's slightly pretentious voice of wisdom.
Yeah, wise beyond his years, sometimes annoyingly so.
Right. But that became a point of discussion for fans, too. Some on Reddit felt he never really developed beyond being horny teenagers romantically, or even became, as one user put it pretty bluntly, a weepy creep.
Ouch.
Yeah. It raises questions about character consistency over 11 years, especially for child actors growing up on screen. Was it natural progression, or did the writers struggle to evolve him beyond that initial quirky persona?
It's a valid point. And rounding out the Pritchetts, we have Joe Pritchett, Jay and Gloria's young son. Introduced later, he adds another layer of adorable chaos and generational humor, often being a foil for his much older parents and siblings.
Okay, next up. The delightfully chaotic, yet somehow classic, nuclear family, the Dunphy household. Leading the charge is Claire Dunphy, Jay's daughter, played with brilliant comedic timing by Julie Bowen. Claire's often seen as uptight and disciplined, a bit of a control freak who needs order, often to her own stress and her family's amusement.
Definitely type A.
Totally. Starts as a homemaker, fiercely dedicated to her kids, but then has this great career arc, eventually becoming CEO of her dad's company. That was a cool journey, seeing her grapple with leadership. And here's that fun fact again. Julie Bowen was 8.5 months pregnant filming the pilot. Had to hide the bump with cereal boxes, laundry baskets. Amazing dedication.
Incredible. And her husband, arguably one of the most universally loved characters on TV, Phil Dunphy, played with just perfect charm and physical comedy by Ty Burrell. Phil's the self-professed cool dad, a realtor known for his puns and unique strategies. Also an amateur magician.
Parenting.
Exactly. Later buys a magic shop, becomes a real estate professor.
Uh,
Kai Burrell was just a master. Master of pratfall and punnery and poignant TV dad warmth, as one critic put it. His mix of childlike enthusiasm, terrible advice sometimes, but unwavering love made him a huge fan favorite.
He really was the heart for many people. It is interesting, though, those Reddit criticisms, taking him out of comedic context, arguing he could be seen as a failure as a partner, parent, and a total pervert.
Yeah, that's a stark take.
It highlights how comedy allows for traits, his awkwardness, naivety about boundaries that wouldn't fly in real life but worked on screen because they came from this place of innocence and good intentions. His philosophies captured his whole vibe.
And life gives you lemonade, make lemons.
Life will be all like, what? Classic Phil. And then the iconic Dunphy kids. First, Haley Dunphy, the eldest, played by Sarah Hyland, starts as the stereotypically ditzy, wild, teenaged girl, right? More into fashion and boys than school. But she genuinely matures, becomes street smart, finds her niche in fashion, works at NERP.
She did grow a lot.
She did, but many fans were really disappointed with her ending up with Dylan and having twins. A lot of people felt her relationship with Andy Bailey, who seemed to challenge her more, was a huge missed opportunity for a more compelling character arc. Felt like the show maybe played it safe there.
That's a common fan sentiment for sure. Yeah. Then there's Alex Dunphy, the intellectual, nerdy, knowledgeable, often introverted middle child, played by Ariel Winter. Alex is the academic powerhouse, always outsmarting everyone, ends up with a brilliant career working in Antarctica.
Super smart, no question.
But again, Reddit discussions often mention her lack of emotional maturity, how she could be arrogant, rude, even elitist, using her smarts to put others down. Some felt her romantic storylines were weak and wished she developed more self-awareness or compassion. She was the cynical voice of reason, but sometimes came across as cold.
Yeah, complex character. And finally, Luke Dunphy, the offbeat only son, played by Nolan Gould. Starts out playful, immature, sometimes dim-witted, often in cahoots with Phil on some scheme. Could be surprisingly insightful one minute, totally oblivious the next. But he matures too, becomes curious, surprisingly street smart.
He did. Worked at Jay's Country Club briefly.
Right. And fans sometimes mention those abandoned plot lines, like his quirky app ideas. Remember the self-flipping pancake?
Huh? Yes. It did feel like maybe some of the kids' storylines, Luke and Manny's especially, kind of petered out a bit towards the end. Maybe just too many characters to service fully over 11 seasons. Okay. Moving to the third, and arguably the most groundbreaking family unit, the Tucker Pritchett household. This is where Modern Family really became a pioneer in LGBTQ plus representation on network TV. Mitchell Pritchett, Jay's son, played by Jesse Tyler Ferguson. He's a successful lawyer, environmental, later district attorney, often portrayed as uptight, a worrywart, analytical, anxious.
The perfect foil for
His husband, the wonderfully dramatic and extra Cameron Tucker, played by Eric Stonestreet. Cam, from that farm in Missouri, brings this huge Midwestern charm and theatrical flair to everything. Former music teacher, becomes a football coach, vice principal. His personality is just in direct opposition to uptight Mitch.
Their dynamic was gold.
Pure comedy gold. And they're the adoptive parents of Lily Tucker Pritchett from Vietnam, whose deadpan one-liners as she got older were just legendary. Later, they adopt Rexford Tucker Pritchett. And that Reddit comment about Lily being Asian, making someone's daughter happy, that highlights the quiet power of seeing yourself reflected on screen.
It really does.
And their portrayal, Mitch and Cam's, it was genuinely revolutionary for its time. Their family was one of the first on primetime TV to really center a same-sex couple navigating everyday parenthood. It gave audiences this authentic look into LGBTQ plus family life, the mundane squabbles, the joys, the anxieties, same as any other family. It played a huge role in normalizing LGBTQ plus families in the mainstream.
Not by preaching, but just by showing.
Exactly. That quiet normalization was incredibly impactful. It let viewers connect with their universal struggles and triumphs.
And here's where fan power really came into play. Remember this. In 2010, that Facebook petition let Cam and Mitchell kiss on Modern Family. Fans were pushing for just a simple on-screen kiss, something totally normal for straight couples.
Yeah, it felt overdue.
And it worked. Later that year, in the episode The Kiss, they finally shared this brief background kiss. It was subtle, but so powerful. It showed how fan voices could influence storytelling and push for more inclusive representation. It was groundbreaking.
It really was. And what's also fascinating are the nuanced fan views on Reddit about Mitch and Cam's representation. It shows the complexities, right? Some strongly felt they normalized gay people just being people.
Yeah.
They liked that their sexuality wasn't their only trait. They were just a couple dealing with relatable stuff.
Right. Adoption paperwork, toddler tantrums.
Exactly. It felt natural.
Yeah.
But then others debated if Cam's more exaggerated traits, the loud screams, obsession with drama, his neediness, were maybe harmful stereotypes.
That's a tricky line to walk.
It is. Were they reinforcing tropes, even if it was funny? But it
Yeah.
wasn't universal. Other gay viewers found him hilarious and relatable, saying, there are definitely gay PPLs like that out there.
Mhm.
It highlights that representation isn't monolithic. Critical thinking is key. One character can't and shouldn't represent everyone.
Absolutely. And amidst all that, there's a really heartwarming story from Reddit about the user whose initially unaccepting father ended up loving Mitch and Cam the most, saying, this show has, but it's some kind of magic. That just speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It really does. About the show's ability to subtly change minds, build empathy, not through lectures, but through human storytelling and humor. Comedy is a bridge.
Truly, some kind of magic. Okay, so beyond the characters and their stories, Modern Family also had some fascinating production secrets and built this incredible legacy of acclaim. Like, we touched on the Dunphy house, that warm, bustling family space, mostly just for show. All those interior scenes were filmed on sound stages, allowing for control over lighting, cameras, sets. Classic TV magic. Seamlessly done, though.
Totally. And revisiting Julie Bowen, filming the pilot, 8.5 months pregnant, that just shows incredible dedication. She was completely in love with the script, and they got creative with props, cereal boxes, laundry baskets, pillows to hide the bump. That commitment really speaks to the spirit of the production.
Incredible. And thinking about the show's origins, remember it was initially called My American Family, and there was that scrapped idea of a fictitious Dutch filmmaker, Geert Floortje, observing them.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that.
They wisely decided it was unnecessary and just presented it as a family show done documentary style, no explanation needed for the camera.
Which I think was brilliant. He kept the focus purely on the family, their relationships, their humor, not some meta reason for filming them. Made the connection more immediate. Definitely the right call. And the show's legacy is cemented by its incredible awards haul and critical acclaim. Over 11 seasons, it really redefined TV comedy. Famously won 5 consecutive Emmys for Outstanding Comedy Series, 2010 to 2014.
Tying Frasier.
Exactly. An amazing feat. And it wasn't just the show. The cast racked up awards, too. 6 supporting Emmys combined. Stone Street and Burrell twice, Bowen twice, plus 5 Screen Actors Guild Awards for the ensemble. Just highlights the incredible chemistry.
The whole cast was just perfect, and the early critical reception was through the roof. Season 1 got 100% in Rotten Tomatoes. Critics called it the funniest new family comedy of the year, credited it with saving the family comedy genre.
It really did breathe fresh life into it.
Yeah.
Now, critical reception did get more mixed as it progressed. That happens with long-running shows. But remarkably, the show never stopped being funny. It also never fully succumbed to those common sitcom pitfalls like tired storylines or character stagnation. It maintained its core strengths pretty much throughout.
And that enduring popularity is still going strong, especially with streaming, right? During its run, it had huge ratings, often the top scripted show in the key 1849 demo, but its second life on streaming has been massive.
Yeah, huge renewed popularity. A notable increase in interest on platforms like Hulu, Peacock, Disney Plus One. It reached whole new audiences. In 2022, it was the 5th most watched show on Disney Plus worldwide. That's amazing for a show that finished years before.
And second in 2023, even higher.
Incredible. It clearly appeals broadly, reaching millennial and Gen X viewers who might be rediscovering it or watching it for the first time. That multi-generational appeal really cements it as a modern classic.
So wrapping things up, Modern Family wasn't just a hit show. It really was a cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
Through its witty dialogue, relatable humor, that innovative mockumentary style, it masterfully depicted a modern-day, tight-knit extended family. It evolved with its characters and, maybe most importantly, influenced how we see diverse family structures, proving love, laughter, connection matter most. It created this unique, comforting viewing experience that still charms audiences today, inviting them into a family that felt and still feels like home.
Absolutely. And as we reflect on those diverse, evolving family dynamics shown so warmly in Modern Family, it does raise a pretty interesting, maybe provocative question for us today. In our super connected yet sometimes fragmented world where traditional structures keep shifting, what new kinds of modern families are emerging around us right now? And how might television, or maybe any storytelling, keep capturing their stories, reflecting those universal truths of love, laughter, and connection for future generations?